In this video, you're going to learn how to regain control during uncertain times. As of shooting this video, coronavirus is widespread across the world. Panic, hysteria, and fear are hitting peak levels. I wanted to put this video together to show you how to control a situation of this nature and get back behind the driving seat, so things aren't getting thrown all over the place and you're not panicking too much. So I learned this exercise from the ancient Stoics, who were Greek and Roman philosophers thousands of years old, and they learned how to spread things into things they have no control, some control, and complete control. So I put together a series of questions here, or situations that are happening right here, right now, in the current situation, and we're going to put them into one of these three categories. As a result of that, we can see where we want to put our attention, because basically we're going to end up with things with no control, where we want very little attention, things with some control, we want to put some of our attention, and then we want complete control, we want to put all our time and energy into this. So when situations get confusing, things get blown out of proportion, I like to stop. I like to pause things and break it down into its fundamentals. So this whole coronavirus situation, I'm going to break it down into, I think it's 12 core questions, and we're going to put them into categories of levels of control. This is going to give you a framework to see the situation better, and also where to direct your attention and energy so that you feel like you're back in control. All right, ready for this? So, the first one, I want to bring them to the camera so you can see them, is the speed that the disease is spreading. So if you guys can see the focus there, yeah, there we go. The speed the disease is spreading. So we just see it, the coronavirus at the moment is spreading like crazy. Regardless of what country you're in right now, I'm in Bali, which is only minimally affected. UK, my home country, is widely affected. Most are spreading, but on the world level, it's going quite exponential at the moment. So, the question is, do we have no control, some control, or complete control? And so this one, I'm going to go for no control. On a world level, as an individual, we have no control. Governments have control, we have no control. Okay, so that's one thing. I'm going to show you at the end of this video why we need to put our attention on things that we do control. Alright, next one. How many people will die? How many people die? Big one. Scary question. Again, you have no control, some are complete. Again, I'm going to go for no control here. No control of how people die. And as you go through this, you're going to see that there's a lot of things building up here, and where if our attention's focused there, it's going to cause a lot of stress. I'm going to go through, stay with me on this one as we go through it. I'll show you at the end, if your attention's on these things, why it's going to cause problems, and I'll switch it to the other ones. Alright, how long will it last? How long will the coronavirus spreading last? Very common question on many people's lists. Is it going to be a month, 2, 6, 12? We don't know. Do we control it to any degree? Or no control? Alright, so again, it's 3-0 at the moment under no control. Okay, next one. My family's health, big concern. This is one of my biggest worries. Family's health. How much control do we have there? No control, some control, or complete control? I'm going to say some control. Reason being, social distancing is shown to be very effective. If you've got an elderly member of your family who's at risk and you're choosing to spend time with them, you're going to be putting them at risk. If you're choosing to distance yourself from them, you're educating your family on social distancing as well. You could have some control over your family's health, especially your older relatives who might want to come into contact with their immediate family. So I would say some control. You could argue no control, but I do think based on the social distancing models I've seen, we do have some control over our family's health by educating them and keeping a distance from them if we're ill. Alright, next one. How I use my time. How I use my time. Do you have no control, some, or complete? I'm going to say complete control. Complete control of how you spend your time. So if you're choosing to worry, if you're choosing to go on the news, scroll through Instagram, scroll through Reddit feeds or news channels, or if you choose to study more, learn more, grind more, that's in your control. So how you spend your time, very, very valuable. Always remember, that's a variable you control. Even if you can't do what you normally do for work, even if you're homebound, you still control how you spend your time. You might be slightly more limited with your options, but you 100% control how you spend your time. Next one. My emotions. My emotions. Again, emotions, no, some, it's got to be complete control. Complete control of your emotions. Your emotional control, whether you're fearful, whether you're scared, whether you're worrying, you control that. And you can choose the inputs that impact that. So if you're feeling anxious or nervous about the situation right now, you control that. You're choosing to put those inputs in, and the emotions are in your control. So pay attention to this one. If you're feeling a bit fearful right now, that's definitely in your control. We'll come back to that at the end. This one, a big one I hear a lot of people talk about. Will the healthcare systems be overloaded? Will the healthcare systems be overloaded? Big question. How much control do you have over there? Big question, but control is none. You have no control over that one. Zero control. Decisions will be made by governments on a country by country level, and you have no control as an individual, okay? So again, don't be focusing on that one. Will we have a full lockdown? Now, depending on where you're watching this, you could be in a full lockdown if you're in Italy or Wuhan. But yeah, a lot of countries might be on a full lockdown. By the time you watch this video, you might be watching it from a lockdown scenario. But we don't know if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or in what country. So again, no control. We have no control in that decision process. What will happen to XYZ market? What will happen to the financial market? What will happen to my job? What will happen to anything? Try to predict the future with what will happen to XYZ. Control on the future, try to predict what's gonna happen in the future based on an unprecedented situation. I'm going no control again, guys. I'm going no control. We have no control, okay? Next one. My own health. My own health. No control, some control, complete control. Now this one, I think there's an argument for some control, and I think there's an argument for complete control. Depending on your situation, like if you've got to go work, you've got to go in socialize with people for your job or something, then you could say some control, or you could go complete. I'm gonna go some control just because we're in unprecedented times right now. A good chance you're going to be exposed to people who have the coronavirus disease at some point, and you're going to be jeopardized just by going amongst your life. So we'll say some control, but you control a lot of it. You control your sleep, your diet, how much social distancing you have with people. So you have a strong element of control with health. The thing I'm knuckling down on the most is eating healthy, sleeping well, resting, exercising, looking after myself, so my immune system's strong, so when I do come into contact with people with the virus, I will be at least an opportunity to fight it off, hopefully, to the best of my ability. So, on health, okay, next one. My attitude about everything. How I'm viewing this situation. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it positive? Am I going to be, is it going to be helping me in the future? Is it going to be hindering me? Is it going to destroy my life, make my life better? We'll go with complete control. You're going to complete control of your attitude. That's how you approach situations, how you see it, the lens that you look for, your attitude. 100% control. And finally, my habits. My habits. No control, some complete. We're going for complete control again. Alright, so when we've done this breakdown, it's really important to do things like this. I do pen and paper a lot of the time, I break situations down into these elements. It highlights exactly where we should be spending our attention, okay? So right now, let's go through the column that says no control. You probably can't see it, so I'll read them out. Speed disease is spreading, how long it's gonna last, the virus, how many people will die, how will the healthcare systems be overrun in your country or globally, will we go to full lockdown, what will happen to XYZ market situations. So if you spend a lot of your time thinking about those things, how is it going to make you feel? You're going to feel anxious, you're going to feel fearful, because when we think about things we do not control, one, what is the point? Because we do not control it. Two, fear and anxiety escalate because we fear the future that we do not control. Anxiety is caused by that fear of the future. So if we're spending any more than 5% of our time in this bracket, which a lot of the world is spending 80% of their time thinking about these things, we're going to drive ourselves crazy. We're going to be fearful, anxious, worried, scared. It's not a place to be. So we need to take back control. So what we need to do is realize these things should get the maximum. Let's say 5%. 5%. I'll get a pen. All right, so we're going to say 5% maximum for these things. We do want to keep the day of the news. We do want to know what's going on, how fast it's spreading, how long it's going to last. Loosely, we want to know the basics of these things. But any more than 5%, we're going to cause ourselves a lot of inner turmoil. So we want to avoid spending too much time here. Next thing, things we have some control. Again, we want to spend some time here, but not all of it. So here, this is my family's health and my own health. We actually want to spend a decent amount of time here because basically, the family's health, obviously that's just social distancing, educating your family if they're being naive. If you've got family members who aren't taking it seriously, it's your job as an educated person to tell them the dangers, but also just keep your distance. Any elderly relatives, if you're out and about in a social scenario, seeing friends, seeing work colleagues or anything like that, you've got to then distance yourself from your elder relatives. Everyone's kind of agreeing on this at the moment. And then your own health. You have a lot of control of your own health. Okay, so we're gonna say, let's say 20% of your time should be here, okay? Let's say 20% here, so 20% mainly on your own health, focusing on sleeping well, eating well, making sure you're getting some exercise in. Don't use the fact gyms are closing as an excuse to go be a fat slob and watch Netflix and eat just pizzas all day. Like, you've got to look after yourself. Keep your immune system sharp. Use this as a wake-up call to double down on your health. Educate yourself. Take nutritional courses. Learn how to do home workouts so that you're keeping fit and on top of it. And yeah, your own health is going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you stay safe through this. And then we've got complete control. How you use your time, your emotions, your attitude, and your habits. You control all of this. So if you notice, like, most of these start with my time, my emotions, my attitudes, my habits. You control all of that. 100% control of that. All of that stuff you control. So let's say you want to spend 75% of your time here. These are just rough numbers, you can change them around. The main thing is majority here, a little bit of time here, next to no time there, okay? Don't worry about the exact numbers. But if you did this, you then regain control of the situation. So you want to put very little time in the things that are worldwide, enough to educate yourself. Some control, you want to spend some of your time here, especially the ones around your own health. And then here, focus your time and energy here. So this is how I use my time, my emotions, attitude, and habits. So really knuckle down on how you spend your time. What does your morning routine look like? I'm sure it's been disrupted recently. Get a new morning routine. How are you spending your afternoons? Make sure you're educating yourself and keeping healthy. And I think it's so important to understand that we can relinquish control by focusing here, or we can regain control by focusing here. You can almost have 75% control, 80% control of your life still, even if you're on lockdown, because you control your habits. You might be restricted, but there's so much control you can take. So hopefully guys have enjoyed going through this process. You can see the value of realizing what you control and what you don't control. And I want you to switch your attention from this bracket to the control bracket, and that will lower your stress levels immensely and give you back control of the situation. So if you enjoyed this video, if you did, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If there's any suggestions that I can do for videos to help you through this very uncertain time, drop it in the comments and I'll be sure to cover that for you. Thanks for watching guys, there's going to be plenty more coming from me very soon.